Hey everybody, Scott here. Hope you're having a great day. It's time to take a look at the housing stats for San Diego for the month of July 2023. What I'm going to do a little bit differently this time is I have looked at the price statistics, but I've not looked at any of the underlying stats we like to take a look at. So you're going to see them with me for the first time, and you'll get some kind of idea of how I interpret them as we go along. With that said, let's look at some charts. All right, so let's start by focusing on the detached houses, and if we have enough time, we will take a quick look at attached. So looking at the detached houses, you can tell the market bit me in the butt. As soon as I said we had recovered completely, so here was June, we hit $1 million on our median price for detached homes in San Diego, matching our peak last April. Well, then of course the market had to fall 1% to make me look like an idiot. Markets tend to do that. But it was only 1%. That's not that significant. Let's look at the average or the mean. And the median kind of held its own. We're at 1,307, fell to 1,305. So that's less than 0.2%. So for all intents and purposes, that's even. Still 3.9% above last year. Going back to the median, we're still 3.6% above last year. Now, one thing I want to point out that is kind of be confusing for people who don't have a deeper knowledge of the market is, let's go back to last year, and this was July. Okay, so the median was 955. Today's median at 990 is up 3.6%. But look what happened in August. August crashed down to just above 900. So really, outside of a real catastrophe in August, we're going to be above last year by more than 3.6%. So this is one of the reasons you don't want to track year over year so tightly, because last year August crashed, and if we are still only 3% above the previous year when we get to August, that's going to mean we crashed in August, which we don't want to have happen. So let's look at kind of volumes and inventory, because that's going to give us an idea of what's going to happen in the future. So if we look at the sold listing, you can see there's another drop off here. So another reduction. Now, the thing to note is this is MLS data taken off of what agents enter. So some agents, if they're on vacation or whatever, I'm filming this on August 2nd, it's quite possible that a lot of sales won't get recorded until the 6th, 7th, or 8th, which is why I usually like to do these a little bit later. Now, it won't affect the median price, most likely, but we'll see the solds come up, and it's entirely possible that our solds will end up either even or above last month, but we're still right now 9% below last year. And if you look at last year, July was a low point. August actually had more sales. So it'll be interesting as we step through these to see if we're set up for more sales in August than July. We'll find that by looking at the pending sales. And nope, it looks like the pendings are pretty flat. Now, this number will likely stay pretty constant, because while agents will have some sales that are pending that'll get into closed, they'll also have some active listings that'll get into pending. So we don't see this change as much. But you can see overall the activity's been a little higher. However, we're still 8% below last year. So if this rises a little bit, maybe we end up 6% below. So still a bit of a reduction in the pendings. Now, new listings is the homes that were brought to the market in the month, and here we see a severe decline. This is, wow. Let me do the math, because I'm just looking at this with you for the first time. So that's 360 off 1,700. That's about an 18% decline month over month, 42% down over last year. So yes, we will get some more listings, but it's not going to make up for the reduction last year. And typically we don't see this kind of drop in July. Once in a while we do, but it's a pretty good indication that people in their homes right now are not looking to sell, and that's largely due to the fact that they've got a 3% interest rate. Nobody's going anywhere at 7. So we looked at the solds and we looked at the actives. Let's take a look at, or at the new listings, let's look at the total actives. And we can see the net result is the total actives are going up. We're up 80, so it's about 3% on the month. We're still 25% below last year, but we are climbing. And I know this can be kind of a scary chart because it looks like, oh my God, we're climbing, and this means we're going to see a drop. Well, once again, let's provide a little perspective. This is where we were hanging out for 13, 14, 15, 16, and the market was pretty strong. And then obviously we started to fall and we hit the pandemic and we really stayed down. So let's take a look at months of inventory. And this is going to take the number of homes for sale now divided by the number of homes we're selling each month and let us know how many months. If nothing new came on the market, how long would it take us to sell what's on the market? And you can see this is rising. And once again, if you look at just, people like to look at the 3-year chart, which is right here, and go, oh my God, we're going through the roof. But you got to give some historical perspective. We're increasing, but nothing near where we have been in the past. And if we go to the maximum and look at where we were during the crash, it's even, more ridiculous. We are still really low. We don't tend to see a sustained price drop unless we're above 6%, 6 months. So we've got a long way to go. Yes, the market is a bit soft, and I think that the balance of this year is going to stay soft, a good opportunity for buyers, but nothing to panic about yet. I'm anticipating the end of first quarter, beginning of second quarter next year is going to be pretty strong. Now let's take a real quick look and do the same analysis we did for a detached with the attached homes. So shorten this down so we're not looking at history. So this is the median price we can see is down. Now this is much more significant than on the detached. So we were down about 16,000. So that's about 2.5% on the month. We're still up 2.2% on the year. And if we look at August of last year, we had a drop. So odds are we'll still be up when we look at the August of this year. The average price still going up. Now, when the median goes down and the average goes up, that basically means we're selling more of the higher end properties, which makes sense because a lot of the higher end properties tend to go more with cash, and cash tends to be less susceptible to interest rates. So now let's go back and look at volume here. Sold listings, deep drop. Okay, this is 750, so lost 80. We lost about 11 to 12%. We're down 18% year over year, 11 to 12 on the month. Once again, this will go up a little bit as closings are reported. The pending sales, once again, are about even. Number of new listings, once again, down. And this is just another indication of the fact that if you've got a 3.5% interest rate, you're not going anywhere at 7. The result of the reduced solds and the reduced new listings means our actives are up a little bit, 50, so that's about 4%. They're still down 24% on the year over year. And then if we look at the months of inventory, pretty steep rise. So we're now at 1.8 months. Once again, instead of freaking out, let's give a little perspective. And you can see we've been a lot higher over time. So we're still in a pretty safe place. And this is indicative, obviously, the market's slowing a little bit. We're not seeing it crash, but I've gone from, 15 offers on a property down to 2 or 3 now. And I'm seeing that confirmed by other agents. You've really got to dial in the houses. We're having a lot of success when we're doing the pre-inspections to find out what's really going on with the property. And then once again, it's just spending the money on marketing. If you are looking for a house, if you're a buyer, there are a couple key things to note. The Cal HAFA program is coming back. That's where you get a grant for 20% down if you're a first-time home buyer, and then you can use that obviously as your 20%. But what happens is when you sell the house, however many years it goes by, you give them that 20% back plus 20% of your profits. But it gets you into a house that you might not otherwise be able to get into. Once again, only for first-time home buyers. If you want more information on that, call me. I will try and keep you updated. My video series on the development property, we put the second one up about 2 weeks ago. I'm about to edit and put the third one up in about 3 to 4 days. So if you're interested in San Diego development, go ahead and look at my playlists, and you can find that there. Otherwise, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks a lot and have a great week.